Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and I'm having a little frog in my throat. Anyway, I wanted to put out this video. This was an idea that my sister, and pretty much brought it to my attention. We normally have discussions of every type, and we were talking about holidays and families and stuff like that, and she was like, you know what, you need to talk about something that's really important because she's going through it herself, and and she figures this is a good topic, especially that we're in the midst of the holiday season. And she says, you know what, I need to make time for myself. And she goes, you know what, you talk about self-care during the holidays. And I was just like, that's a really good subject, because it's something that people tend to neglect themselves during this time of year. And she's going through it right now. Like, she's a working mom and taking care of her family and needs and responsibilities of work and home. Unlike most Americans that are still able to work, have to deal with on a constant struggle. And especially now that we're in the midst of Christmas approaching next week, and then New Year's, it becomes very stressful to find a timeout time. And I think it's important that we need to give ourselves that time out. It's good for us. And sometimes as parents, we're busy with our kids, and making sure the house is clean, making sure that shopping is going to get done, especially for the holidays. Who's going to buy gifts for who, and who's coming over for family get-togethers, and making sure that everything is set before Christmas, New Year's, whatever the occasion is. And we tend to forget ourselves and give ourselves a timeout, and not a bad timeout. A timeout as in caring ourselves, self-care. And I'm gonna give 5 points of self-care that we as people, and it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a guy, if you're taking care of a family, you sometimes need to give yourself that time out. So these tips, I thought about it. I was just like, you know what, yeah, even myself, I have to do that every so often. And so I list 5. So this is not going to be a long, strenuous video, okay? So but these 5 tips that I think it's important for us to self-care during the holidays. Number 1, make time for yourself. And what I mean by that is that you have to make an appointment for yourself to give yourself that, like I said, time out. Either by pampering yourself, taking naps, going to the gym, exercising, doing yoga, meditation, stuff like that. You need that self-care for yourself. I personally, and I'm gonna say this, I love to pamper myself. I usually either go to get pedicures done, or I love listening to fun music and dancing. Even if it's dancing with myself, I love to have fun and enjoy myself, and by dancing. And sometimes the kids are like, "Ma, please, you're kind of old for that." And I'm like, I don't care. I need to have fun, unwind, just having a good time. And even it's just with myself. And if you're not into that sort of thing, you could always take a relaxing bath, um, and do, like I said, meditation, yoga, even taking a nap, reading a book. That is, part of self-care, is giving time for yourself. And point number two, when you go to family gatherings, sometimes it gets kind of stressful to go to family gatherings, and the number two will be check with your emotions on your experiencing environment. I'm going to repeat that. Check with your emotions on your experiencing environment. And what I mean by that, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm having a hard time memorizing the stuff. So I'm having my little cheat sheet that I wrote down these things. So basically is sometimes when you arrive to whoever's gathering, family, friends, whoever, always check yourself on the environment. Do you feel that this environment is going to be fun, uplifting? Sometimes you'll feel the vibe and like, oh, this is going to be a fun night and we're going to enjoy ourselves and yeah. And sometimes you have a great night. Sometimes, unfortunately, it tends to be a little bit of the opposite. You go to a family gathering thinking that you're going to have a wonderful time, and that's when people bring out the dirty laundry that should be left in the closet until next week, or until the holidays is over. And when you feel that that vibe coming through, like it makes you feel like anxious, a little bit angry, a little bit of drained, like you feel like someone knocked the crap out of you and not feeling great. Check those emotions. It definitely has happened to me in the past. When I was younger, I didn't know how to lay my boundaries when it came to guests in my apartment. At the time, and this is a personal experience that I went through. I was already a first-time wife, mother, and when you had family gatherings that didn't know their boundaries, sometimes they tend to overstep those boundaries of your home. And sometimes people will bring things that should not be brought in a family gathering. And so when you feel those boundaries being stepped, pull yourself out of it. Pull yourself out of it. Even if you have to take a walk, pull yourself out. Take a breather. Gather your thoughts. And then when you feel like you're centered, because you got to basically ground yourself. And if you feel centered enough to deal with the drama, then you go back in. And just tell the family, hey, let's not discuss this. This is not the time. I want to enjoy our family gathering. Just doesn't have to be drama like, oh, you need to get the hell out. Or you need to, shut your mouth. Don't go there. Don't do that. Just be nice but diplomatic. Please, we're not talking about this stuff today. This is not the day. This is a day of enjoying as a family. And you'll be surprised that they'll take a step back and be like, okay, we're chill. Because it's important to lay those boundaries. Whatever drama is going on, keep it outside the home. It's not the day. They could pick any other day that they want to talk about it, and you're willing to listen, so be it. But not on the days that you want to have a good time. Number 3, practice gratitude for the people in your life. And what I mean by that is that sometimes in life you deal with the good of people and families, friends, whoever you're encountered with a lot of times. And also you have to give gratitude for the ones that gave you heartache too. And believe me, I have learned this year is a lot of bad things have happened throughout my life. And it's really hard to look beyond the hurt. And I've learned how to look at things with a different perspective. And this has been an ongoing thing this year for me, is to look outside the box. Most people will be in victim mode and hold on to the pain and the suffering of what others did to you. And I did that for a very long time. And until this year, I started changing my way of thinking, of viewing things, and what I've learned about these things that happened in my life. Things that could happen like 10 years ago, or things that just happened yesterday. I took a time out and practically learned how to readjust my perspective. And by doing that, it opened up a different world for me of gratitude. Because if it wasn't for those bad experiences in my life, and yes, they were painful, but it made me grow as a human being to be better. So I appreciate the good things, even the bad things, even though it was painful. But it made me grow as a person to become a person that I really want to be, is very open and very honest. So in order to do that, you could either pray. Most people like praying. You could pray whatever religion you're in, whatever method you believe in praying. Or again, I'll bring out the meditation again. Most people love meditating out the feelings of gratitude and letting go of all that pain. Or you could do journaling. Write down what you're grateful for and release it. All you want to do is release all that from inside of you. And you're probably figuring like, well, that's part of self-care. Yeah, it is. Because it's being very conscious of yourself, of things that you want to be grateful, and also humble. I will say humble, being humble on being the authentic self, that is, being authentic with yourself. Okay, so I have mentioned twice meditation. So number 4, meditation again. Meditation. Everybody's like, oh, well, it's like that hippie thing, or is it that, believe me, I started with the meditation about maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago I started doing the meditation, but I prefer doing the sleeping meditation because it helps me to relax much better. And when I wake up the next day, I feel more lighter, because sometimes I have a hard time sleeping. And when I do those sleeping meditations, and it works for me, um, it helps me relax. It helps me feel grounded. You know, you could listen to soothing music. You know, sometimes they have those beautiful soothing music sounds of either flutes. I like to listen to like Indian Native American flutes, or I like to listen to Celtic soothing music. And even sometimes I would listen to like nature, sounds of nature, like waterfalls, wind blowing, stuff like that. I really get into that, and it helps me feel feel relaxed, centered, and it does help. So if anybody who's never tried meditation, I will definitely um, recommend you guys to do it. You can find it on YouTube, search whatever particular sound you want to listen to, and then just put it on. Sometimes they have the 8 hour or 9 hour um, music or sounds. And I do is I put my earbuds on and just try to relax and just go with the sound, and it helps. Okay. And then finally we get to the fifth one. And I have my little cheat sheet. You see? Number five. Number five. Apologize and forgive. That is hard. That is definitely hard to do. But it's also very important, because of the fact that sometimes you have to think about, again, those issues that happens between families, friends, whoever, your partner, your husband, wife. You have to take responsibility of actions, of things that happened. And I'm gonna give you a big example. Now, a lot of you have been seeing my friend Eddie. Now, me and Eddie, we were together as a couple for 11 years. And we broke up the beginning of this year. It was around January, February. We officially like done as a couple. And we got to a place that we talked about a lot of things that what didn't work in our relationship. And it takes a lot of guts to do because I'm telling you, I never done that with any of my relationships. I was not able to get closure. And unfortunately, depending on the situation, again, sometimes you don't get that closure because it could be circumstance that requires sometimes your safety, that you need to watch your back. And if you're in danger, don't look for that. Don't look for that way of forgiving and forgetting type of thing. Just, if you feel like you're in danger and you don't feel safe, then I would not recommend chasing anybody to find forgiveness. But with my situation this time, my ex, is a good person, and we both met each other halfway and took responsibility in our actions as we were a couple. And so forgiving and forget and apologize and forgive, that is, apologize and forgive. We definitely did. And by doing that, we are definitely in a better place as friends. And we could respect each other as friends. You know, and if you guys thinking, oh, those two are still in love, yeah, we're always gonna love each other, but not the way most people will think. It's a different type of love, and it's important for us, you know, to maintain our friendship because, you know, regardless, we care about each other. But if you can't find that person to forgive, then do the forgiving on your own. And it's, you know, sometimes you have to forgive and apologize. And if you can't do it face to face with that person, then you could do it through a prayer and say, you know, pray to whoever you want to pray and say, I apologize for my part, and I hope that that person will find peace, and I hope that I wish them the best. You know, sometimes you have to do those type of prayers, because I do. I did it, and you just make peace with it. It's important. Anyway, so those are my 5 tips of self-care for during the holidays. I hope that you can get something out of this video regarding to the 5 tips, and I hope to add more content later on. I definitely will have next week a video that I went around the city and hopefully I'll have it up for, you know, for you guys to take a peek. So now I'm gonna let you go because obviously I'm about to choke, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.